And now GM has said, hey, here's another version of the car that you can't get. Like, have fun waiting. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, haven't seen any of my videos before, do me a favor, go down and subscribe before we get into the video. Might as well leave a like while you're there as well. Ever since the C8 came out, there's always been rumors of fully electric / hybrid C8 in the future, and a couple of weeks ago / month ago, we saw kind of a camouflage prototype car, and now it has officially been released that there is a C8 E-RAY. Now, I own a C8 Z06, or I don't own it yet technically because GM hasn't given me my car. But I have a C8 Z06 on order. Now, I'm going to talk about my little frustration with this new car process, but I'm very excited for the E-RAY. It's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to be switching, even if I had the potential to switch from a Z06 to an E-RAY, because the Z06, in my opinion, flat plane crank, all of these different things, is still far superior to the E-RAY than anything else. But the E-RAY does have all of the stylistic elements of the C8 Z06. The reason I'm not switching is because the C8 Z06, in my opinion, is one of the most exciting cars that I can think of in the new 2023-2024. I'm more excited about the C8 Z06 than the new Mustangs. And I'm a Mustang owner, right? The C8 Z06 right now is on a pedestal that's just untouchable unless it's supercars. It is a supercar for sports car territory money. Given $115,000 to $130,000 is a ton of money, but I'm still very excited for my C8 Z06 to come. That being said, let's talk a little bit more about this E-RAY Corvette that was released. So when the Z06 came out, we expected the Z06 to be under $100,000. The Z06 starts at $106,000. As far as I'm seeing everything online, they're not saying anything about pricing. So, combined 655 horsepower with the hybrid motor and the V8 motor. I'm pretty sure it's still the pushrod V8. They're not putting the flat plane crank in it or anything. So it's a 6.2 naturally aspirated V8 making 495 horsepower plus the extra bump in horsepower with the electric system in the front. So it's an all-wheel drive Corvette. Now, the reason you would think like, oh, it might be cheaper than the Z06, it might become more available than the Z06 and easier to get your hands on because more people are still waiting for their Z06s. I don't think that's going to be the case. It's probably going to be pretty hard to get, but I guess we'll see how it goes. But it's still a V8, it's a hybrid, and it's all-wheel drive, and it's going to be insanely fast. So the C8 Z06 still makes a little bit more horsepower than it does, even though it is the hybrid. I think it's a really interesting concept, and it's kind of the first of its kind, right? It's Corvette's take on the P1 and the 918. I'm trying to think of a hybrid V8 that isn't in supercar or hypercar level territory, and I can't. It's the first of its kind. For the price, it's going to be insane. I would love to get my hands on one to drive one. I'm not the biggest fan of the whole hybridization system as far as it goes for like longevity of a car, right? If I buy a car like that, I want to be able to keep it for a long time. The Z06 is a car that I hope to keep for a very long time. And I'm not sure how long or how far those electric motors and batteries are going to go. I'm always a little sketched out about that, even for newer like electric cars going fully electric. It's not the only reason I don't want to buy electric. Like, I don't know how long it's going to last, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a question of how long lithium-ion batteries are going to go for, because we're seeing like these LaFerraris that haven't really been driven too much have $40,000, $50,000 battery replacements. Obviously, the E-RAY is not going to have a $40,000 battery replacement because it's not a LaFerrari, but the P1s are getting like battery replacements nowadays. The 918s are getting battery replacements. So these cars are getting to that 8 to 10 year period where they're starting to either become throwaway, but since they're so collectible, they're not throwaway cars, so they get replaced even though it's such a huge price tag. I don't know how the Corvette's going to do. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how resale value goes and everything in the future after they actually push all these cars out to the masses. Will the E-RAY be something that's going to be a car for the long term? Either way, I think it's still super cool. It looks awesome. The whole concept is awesome. And it truly is a hypercar holy trinity for a tenth of the price. Now, like I said, I would not trade my Z06 for an E-RAY. Even if they cost about the same, the E-RAY is probably a lot faster, 0 to 60. The batteries are going to weigh a little bit more. It's going to weigh it down. The Z06 still makes an awesome awesome note, but also more horsepower. I'm super excited for my Z06. For those who are watching and haven't seen like spec reveal or anything, I'm hopefully trying to do my very best to get a Z07 pack. And as far as interior, exterior colors, I'm still waiting for the Chevy dealership. I'm getting a 2LT car, or I said that I want a 2LT, so kind of middle of the road, not $150,000+ for my spec. I want to keep my spec under $130,000 because that's still a lot of money. You know, it's still a ton of money, and it's definitely going to be a supercar killer that I intend to use a lot. But I don't expect my car to come this year or even like early next year. I think it's going to take a ton of time. So I'm most likely not going to get the first model year. I'm probably not going to get the second model year. I might be pushing to the third model year. We kind of knew this coming in. Everyone kind of joked at me like, yeah, you joined the line with like 20,000 other people. I know. I'm well aware that it's going to be a long wait, but I am getting the dealer car, so we'll see how things unfold. The dealer I'm getting my car from is a really big dealer and reputable dealer in this area, so we'll see how everything turns out, I guess. It's just a thing that I have and expecting and waiting for it to show up. Now my concerns. For those who do not know and don't follow the channel, I have one of these. This is a 2022 Ford Bronco. The Ford Bronco was delayed 18 months, right? And then on top of that, they kept making more versions of it. They came out with Heritage versions, Everglade version, a Bronco Raptor version, when they couldn't even make the normal cars fast enough. This is exactly why I'm a little mad at Chevy. Not as much as the Broncos, because, I mean, they still got to innovate, they still got to make new stuff, and they got to continue coming out with stuff. Ford already had enough stuff coming out with the Bronco. But the thing is, customers like me who are waiting for their Z06s, or our dealerships who are waiting for their Z06s so they can sell them to their customers, even though most are going to sell them over sticker, they are still waiting for their cars to come. And now GM has said, hey, here's another version of the car that you can't get. Like, have fun waiting. It kind of sucks, and I wish they kind of ramped down production in terms of making new models, making new trim levels, like this new E-RAY we're seeing, and they bumped up production as much as possible to push out the normal C8s that everyone's wanting, the Z06s that everyone's wanting, because I feel like they can do it. They just need to put a pause on the new stuff. It's a little frustrating when an auto manufacturer comes out with a new car and you're still waiting for the old one. I'm not quite as mad as I was with Ford, because with Ford I was really mad. 18 months delay, and they've already been making them for 2 years, and they came out with like 8 different trims, and then some people disagree with me and say, oh, whatever, like they need to come up with new stuff, but then the people who get it, they get it. That being said, that I would enjoy to see or drive an E-RAY. I would also love to see Z06, much less drive one, and I would love to drive a base model C8. I haven't gotten any experience with the newer Corvettes just because they're so hard to find, and it's not like people are giving test drives to the Corvettes. You can't just like get in one and test drive one because they're never sitting on lots anywhere, and if they are, they're in the showroom, and it's like you have to fill up paperwork to drive them. There's no opportunity where it's like, yeah, here's the keys, go take it out for a little spin, enjoy it, see if you like it. It's, hey, I'm gonna get one Z06 and customer's already spoken for it and it's out the door, so if you want to get an opportunity to drive it or whatever, not happening. But that's all I have for this video. If you guys are excited for the E-RAY, excited for me to get my Z06, excited for me to drive a Z06, if you would want to see me drive a Z06 or an E-RAY, you guys should go tell Chevy to give Nav's Garage exclusive access, because they might listen to you guys because they clearly don't listen to me. But that's all I got for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.